Okay, so here's our next problem. 9x squared minus 15x plus 4. In this case, a is equal to 9, b is equal to negative 15, c is equal to 4. So our first step was to do 9 times 4, which is 36. Okay, we want factors of 36 that give us negative 15. Okay, so if we don't know those off the top of our head, 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12. Oh, so negative 3 times negative 12 gives us positive 36. Negative 3 minus 12 equals negative 15. So there are our factors. Okay. All right, so let's rewrite our original. We'll take this and we'll rewrite it as 9x squared minus 3x minus 12x plus 4. And now we are going to factor by grouping. 9x squared minus 3x. Negative 12x plus 4. Okay, so for this one, the GCF is 3x. Okay, so if I divide both pieces by 3x, okay, I get the expression 3x times 3x minus 1. For this one, the GCF is negative 4. Now, why is it negative and not positive? That's because if I look here, I've got a negative in the middle, I've got a positive in the middle. I'm going to want those to be the same. I generally don't want to lead with the negative, so I'll pull the negative out. Alright, so again, if I divide both things by negative 4, I get the expression negative 4, 3x minus 1. Okay, so I've now taken this first piece and I've rewritten it as 9x squared, excuse me, not 9x squared, take my first piece, 3x times 3x minus 1 minus 4 times 3x minus 1. GCF, 3x minus 1 comes out. What am I left with? 3x minus 4, so 3x minus 4. That's my answer. So what do? I check it. To check, you FOIL. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. Outside, 3x times negative 4 is negative 12x. Inside, negative 1 times 3x is negative 3x. Last, negative 1 times negative 4 is positive 4. And then those combine to give negative 15x plus 4, 9x squared, and it works out. So that's example 2. Okay, again, this is a lot more work than you probably have to show, but it'll work either way. Okay, x squared plus 2x plus 3. A is equal to 1, B is equal to 2, C is equal to 3. AC is 3. Factors of 3 that add to 2. This is positive 3, so it can be 1 and 3, or negative 1 and negative 3. They don't work. So what do we say if we can't find a factor? And this is something that you're probably going to want to do a lot, just because we might have trouble with multiplication, but not every problem you see is prime. Rarely will you see a prime one, because the goal of this is to get you to learn how to do it, so we'll rarely give you ones that won't work. You will occasionally see it, but it doesn't happen all the time. Okay. Now, if you go back all the way to the beginning, the first thing we want to look for is a GCF. In this case, there is one. 2 goes into everything, and an x squared goes into everything. So what do? I pull that out. So I can simulate that by dividing everything by 2x squared. Okay, if I do that, I've pulled the 2x squared out. Okay, 4x to the fourth divided by 2x squared, that's 2x squared. 10x cubed divided by 2x squared is 5x. Negative 6x squared divided by 2x squared is negative 3. Now this is a quadratic. We've talked about quadratics. We need to solve this, and so a is equal to 2, b is equal to 5, c is equal to negative 3. AC is negative 6. Factors of negative 6 that add to 5. We've got to have one positive, one negative. So it can be 1 and 6, or 1 and negative 6, 2 and negative 3, negative 1 and 6, negative 2 and 3. That is equal to negative 5. That's equal to negative 1. That's equal to 5. That's equal to 1. So we found the one we want. The one we want is here. So let's just factor this thing in the middle. Okay, so I've got 2x squared minus x plus 6x minus 3. Remember, I took this middle piece here, that piece right there, that piece right there is equal to what? That piece right there is equal to 5x, which is what we had in the original. Okay, so we look at both of these. 2x minus x. The GCF is an x. Okay, so I'm going to slide that down. The GCF is an x. Divide x into both things, and I'm left with a 2x minus 1. X divided by x is 1. Okay, look at the second piece. Positive 6x minus 3. What's the GCF? 6, 3, a 3. You can think negative 3, but that's going to flip the sign, so 3 and 3. The goal, again, is to make these middle pieces be the same. I have that. I've got 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1. So let's pull the 2x minus 1 out, and I'm left with an x plus 3. Now, you probably think you're done. We are not done, because we have this piece way up here that we stopped using, so it needs to come all the way down here. So I get 2x squared there. And so if I want to rewrite this a little prettier, 2x squared times 2x minus 1 times x plus 3. That is our final answer. You can FOIL it out in order to check it, and if you do, you should get the correct thing. Okay, so we'll start this tomorrow in class, and then we'll go from there.